All right, let's play detective for a minute. Our mission? To investigate all the thousands of little transformations that are happening all around us, every single second of every day.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? Nothing stays the same for long. The ice in your glass melts, the banana on your counter gets brown spots, a flower blooms. The world is just in this constant state of change. So, what's really going on here? Let's gather some clues.
Okay, Exhibit A. We've all seen this, right? A banana starts getting those brown spots, and pretty soon it has that really strong, sweet smell. It's pretty clear it's becoming something different than the banana we started with. Let's see what else is out there.
And here's Exhibit B, a beautiful change happening right in nature. A tight little bud just unfurls and becomes this vibrant flower. So again, a definite change has taken place. Let's grab one more piece of evidence to round things out.
And finally, Exhibit C. Now this one feels a little different, doesn't it? The water's temperature changed, for sure. But is the water itself any different? So we've got a ripening banana, a blooming flower, and some warm water.
So, this brings us to the main question of our investigation. Are all of these changes the same kind of thing? Or are we looking at totally different types of change here? Let's dig in and find out.
To make sense of all this, scientists do what they do best. They categorize things. And it turns out all those changes we just saw, they fall into two main groups. So let's start by taking a look at the first one. Our first category is what scientists call a physical change. The key idea here is actually pretty simple. The way something looks might change, but the actual stuff it's made of, that stays exactly the same. Let's test this out with a quick thought experiment.
So imagine you have a plain sheet of paper. You can fold it into a cool butterfly, right? It looks completely different. It has a new shape, a new form, but what happens when you unfold it? Of course it is. It might be crumpled and creased, but it's still paper. You didn't create anything new, you just rearranged what was already there. And that, right there, is the heart of a physical change.
And we see this everywhere. When you inflate a balloon, the rubber is just stretching. If you crush a piece of chalk, you just end up with smaller pieces of chalk. And when ice melts into water, it's still H2O. It's just in a liquid form instead of a solid one.
So, you can think of it like this. A physical change is like a makeover, not a personality transplant. You're changing properties like shape, size, or state, solid, liquid, gas, but you're not making any new substances. And with that, I'd say, case closed on our warming water bottle. But wait a second, what about our other clues? You can't unripen a banana. You can't turn a flower back into a bud. These changes feel permanent. And that's because, in these cases, something entirely new has actually been created. This brings us to our second big category, chemical changes. This is where things get really transformative. We're not just talking about a new look here. We're talking about making brand new substances. Take a look at this simple but really powerful experiment. If you blow through a straw into a glass of regular tap water, you just get bubbles. But if you do the exact same thing with something called lime water, the whole thing turns cloudy and milky. What's going on?
A chemical reaction has happened. The carbon dioxide from your breath has actually combined with the lime water to create a brand new substance, calcium carbonate. That milky cloudiness is the evidence you've made something that wasn't there before.
And that is the core of a chemical change. It's not just a change in how something looks. It's a fundamental change in its identity, where new stuff is formed. This whole process is called a chemical reaction. And that ripening banana from our investigation, that's just a whole series of them.
Once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing these chemical reactions everywhere. They don't just happen in a lab, they are happening all around you, right now. Take rusting. That flaky, reddish-brown stuff on old metal isn't just discolored iron. It's an entirely new substance, iron oxide, formed when iron reacts with oxygen. Or think about burning something. The fancy word is combustion. When you burn wood, it reacts with oxygen to produce ash and smoke, and you definitely can't turn that ash back into wood.
Okay, detective, you've seen the evidence and you've learned about the two main categories of change. So now it's your turn to put on the lab coat. You ready to identify some changes out in the wild?
All right, quick fire round. An ice cube sits on the counter and melts into a puddle. Is that change physical or chemical? Lock in your answer. Okay, next up, you're making a salad and you chop a big cucumber into little tiny pieces. Physical or chemical? What do you think? And for the final question, you're sitting around a campfire. Those logs are turning to ash, giving off heat and light. Is that a physical or a chemical change?
Let's see how you did. Melting ice is a physical change. It's still H2O, it's just changing its state. Chopping vegetables is also physical. You have smaller pieces, but they're still vegetables. And burning wood, that's the chemical change, because you're creating totally new substances like ash and smoke.
So we've pretty much cracked a case. We now know the difference between a physical change, which is just a simple change in form, and a chemical change, which creates something entirely new. So this leaves us with one final, really big question. Now that you can spot them, what do you think is the single most important chemical reaction for all life on Earth? Thanks for joining this investigation.